this is Russ. Yeah, I'm back in the car again. I am so far ahead of you guys in videos. Yeah, by the time you see this video, it's going to be a couple of weeks almost, I think. Yeah, a lot of cars. Yeah, sometimes when there's a lot of cars, you can't get out of here. Anyway, I was thinking about computer systems. Yeah, not that I need one. But I was thinking PCs and Apple computers. I wanted to find out what you guys have. Yeah, are you PC based or are you Apple based? I was a PC guy for a long time. I've been a PC guy since they invented the PC. But then I switched over to the Apple system. I'll tell you a story how I ended up switching over and why. As you know, I had a photography school, and I always had a problem with the PC doing updates at the most inconvenient times. Now, technically, if you leave it, the computer will automatically do the update when you shut down, and then it will eventually shut itself off, right? But I rented space in an office building, and I never felt comfortable leaving the computer on. Well, it's supposed to shut down, but I always liked turning the power strip down when everything's done with for the class and I go home, right? And I would leave way late at night, like 9 o'clock at night is when the classes were done. So I was the last guy in the building, pretty much the last guy in the building, and we're talking a big office building. So I just wanted to close down and get out of there, right? I didn't want to stay there any longer than I had to. But whenever it did the updates, I usually end up hanging around until it's finished, and then I would make sure everything's off, and then I would turn the power strip down of everything that I had on, connected to it. So I didn't like that. And then eventually, I was teaching Photoshop and Lightroom software for photography. And many of the students would come in with their laptops to learn, and many of them had Apple computers. And I didn't know anything about the Apple operating system. So I would tell them, okay, this is how you do this function, this is how you do that function in Photoshop or in Lightroom. And then they would not be able to figure out how to do it on the Apple. Yeah, because Apple has different things. I mean, on a PC, you have a control button, right? Well, they have a command button and some other button. I can't remember the name of it now. So certain things, you have to hit certain buttons in order for things to happen, right? So, and the Apple system's not the same in the sense that, whereas on a PC, you just cut and paste, right? You can't always cut and paste on an Apple computer. It's more like drag and drop. Yeah, made no sense to me. So anyway, I said, I'm going to have to buy an Apple computer to learn it so that I can teach it to these people, because otherwise they get confused and they don't know where it is. They don't know how to get to the features as I'm teaching them. So I bought myself an Apple MacBook Pro. Yeah. A 14-inch, I think it was 13-inch at that time. They're now currently 14 inches and 16 inches. I have a 14 and a 16 right now, but I bought the 13-inch at the time, tried to learn on it. I hated that thing. It took me 6 months to get used to it because I was so ingrained in the PC world that it made no sense on how certain file things were moved around and changed, and I just couldn't get used to it. Eventually you get used to it, right? Now I'm pretty much an Apple guy because I have everything that I have is an Apple something or other. What I like about the Apple system, though, is that everything integrates with each other. So I can start out something on say, an iPad, finish it off on the laptop, or finish it off on the phone. I can answer my phone calls on my laptop. I can answer my phone calls on my iPad or on my phone. I can start a message on one of them and finish it off on another part of them. I can hit copy on my phone and paste it in my laptop, or vice versa. There's the thing is basically all connected, right? So when you look at it that way, I said, you know, versatility wise, I have a lot of versatility with it since I have so many Apple devices. I edit on the Apple Final Cut Pro editing software. So one thing I kind of liked about the Apple system is that you pay for the software, but then you get updates for life. You don't have to keep paying for updates. I mean, even for Photoshop, you know, for how many versions of Photoshop I've gone through in my lifetime, every time an update comes out, you know, the new version, I have to buy that version. Eventually, Adobe started doing the subscription thing, right? So now I still have an Adobe subscription because I use Photoshop to create my thumbnails and other things that I do in photography. I do it that way. So anyway, I wanted to find out from you guys, what computers do you guys have? You know, what brands? And then also, what do you use? Are you a PC person or an Apple person, right? Now, let me tell you about the Apple laptops. I had a 13-inch laptop, and then I moved to the, I guess it's the 16-inch, I guess is what it is now, something like that. But I moved to the, I don't know, is it a 15 or 16-inch laptop I had? And then eventually I ended up buying a 14-inch laptop. You know, between the two, it physically looks bigger on it, but I'm telling you, the bigger computer is harder to deal with. First off, it's heavier, and then it's bigger, so it's harder to transport. I mean, you can fit the big computer in the in a backpack, but it's tighter, you know, and heavier. I find it easier to deal with the 14-inch laptop, smaller laptop, simply because it's lighter in weight and it's easier to transport. I can just pop that into a backpack and go. I mean, it's pretty easy. So that's what I use today, is the 14-inch MacBook Pro. So what else do we have? I have a lot of Apple products. We have Apple iPhones. Mrs. Wright and I have Apple iPhones. She has a couple of iPads. You know, I have one iPad Mini. I have a MacBook Pro 14-inch and a 16-inch. I believe it's 16. It's either that or 15-inch, one of the two. I have a Mac Pro, which is the desktop computer. It kind of looks like a cylinder. Have you guys seen that? It really tall, little, well, it's not tall, it's about maybe this tall, cylinder. That's the desktop computer. I use that at the school. It's kind of outdated now at this point. My laptops are actually more powerful. What else do we have? I have an iPod. I still have it. I still use it too. I have an iPod. So yeah, we've had a lot of different Apple products. So Apple products are kind of expensive for what they are, you know, but I like how they integrate with each other. I even tried, although I don't own one, I tried one of the Apple Vision Pros, you know, that big thing that it's like big goggles, that's 3D type goggles. That's actually really cool. Yeah, it's too bad it costs so much, and too bad it's so heavy. I thought it was heavy. You know, I went through their half-hour demonstration. I just wanted to see it, but they won't let you just kind of look at it. They go through the full demonstration for you because they're hoping to try to convert you. I would say if I had the money and I wanted high technology, I probably would have bought one. Yeah, it's that impressive, really. But it's heavy. It's heavy. I can't see having that on my head for a long period of time. It's kind of heavy, but sure look good. I mean, recently we went to the Ark Encounter. Remember I told you guys about that? And they had that 3D movie type of thing, you know, 360-degree immersive type of movie. We kind of wore similar things to like the Apple Vision Pros. It wasn't Apple Vision Pros, I don't think. It couldn't be. It'd be too expensive for them to do that. But it was similar. And I kept thinking the Apple Vision Pro actually looked even better. Even though we liked the movie as we saw it, I think the Vision Pro was even better than that. So anyways, even if you're not interested in buying one day go to an Apple store and ask to see it. But you got to have at least like a half hour because they won't do a halfway demonstration. They want you to sit through the whole demonstration. And even if you wear glasses, it doesn't matter because they actually fine-tune the Vision Pro to your prescription. It takes a measurement of your eye. Well, actually, it takes a measurement of the glasses. You give them the glasses, then they measure the glasses. Sorry, and then they change the internals of the goggle thing to your prescription, so you don't have to wear glasses while you have that on. Yeah, and then you have full vision because it's basically got your prescription in there. In fact, they said that if I ever went back to purchase one of these things, which I won't because it's too expensive, they have my prescription. All they have to do is dial it in for me before I take it home. So anyway, I don't know. Some people would say, oh, they got too much information on you, but they had that. So anyway, yeah, let me know what you use for a computer. What brands are you using? I mean, I remember at one time the big computers were what, HP, Compaq, Toshiba. What other PCs were there out there? IBM, Lenovo. What's still current out there? I don't even know. I have not looked at any other computer systems other than Apple computers for, I don't know, over 10 years probably. I've been an Apple person. But I'm at the point now where it's very hard for me to even use a PC because it's you know, I don't even know what version of Windows is out there. I haven't used one in a while. Of course, Ufree e-bikes gave me a laptop to use so I can program one of the Stellar Falcons, my red one. Yeah, it's programmed to the most recent software. And I didn't have a PC. You know, I have older desktops, but it was in the basement, hard to find. Probably it's too old to use it anyway. And so I said, I don't have a PC-based computer to use. So he sent me a computer, and then I was waiting for him to send me a return label so I can ship it back. And he said, keep it. That guy gives me everything. I'm telling you, it's amazing. So anyway, let me know. Yeah, let me know what you use and why do you still use it. Okay, that's the question of the day. Why do you still use a PC, or why do you still use an Apple operating system computer? I know that the Apple computers, you could download a Windows into the Apple computer and use it as a PC, but I kept thinking, why would someone do that? Why would they want two operating systems on there? I mean, some software only work on PCs. There you go. But other than that, why would someone do it? I mean, then you'd have to buy the software, you know, the operating system software, if you want to do it legally, and then it eats up more of your hard drive space and everything. Why would you do that? So in general, Apple computers cost more, may not even be as powerful as a PC, but yet people use it, and they do it because I think they like how it works together. Anyways, that's all I got for you guys for today. If you liked the video, go ahead and hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Let me know what you guys use. Talk to you guys next time.